Hey, Dave.
Hi, Patty.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Yeah. I've been thinking about you. I know it's a big step to decide to retire. Didn't work too well for me.
Well, I was a little prompted by the cancer.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Yeah. But hopefully you'll have a good outcome and you can, focus your attention on delete the urgent unimportant, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be.
Hi.
Hi, Lydia.
Hey, Cape Cod girl.
I can't leave. It's really hard. But now I'm on vacation, so it's legit.
Are you still away? You're still away?
Yeah, I mean, I actually came home to Pittsburgh for a week and got a lot more stuff.
Where are you?
I'm at my mom's house on Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, I love Martha's Vineyard.
They do everything ecological
Yeah,
properly here.
I know.
It's
I
amazing.
used to go there when I lived in Connecticut. We'd go every summer. And I know the summer I was pregnant with my daughter, I got so many ticks. I got so many ticks. It was awful.
Constantly like,
Yeah, I know. That was the only thing that I really worried about there, but it was beautiful. It was just beautiful.
it has been. That's why it's so hard to leave.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I was telling Dave, I actually feel like I need to live more in a community like this all the time. I'm so much more active. I'm so much more productive. Like today at lunch, I walked over to my friend's house and returned a book and had a conversation, and then walked over to that friend's house and got a golf game for 5:30 today. And I'm like, I can't just walk around in Pittsburgh on my lunch break and make a bunch of plans like this.
Yeah.
Especially during a pandemic.
Yeah. Well, we've been walking around a lot in our community. I have 15 citizens coming to the committee meetings tonight petitioning for sidewalk improvements. And they're
That's
all,
what I'm saying. We need sidewalks.
and they're on state roads. So it's like Brinton Road and Yost Boulevard and repairing the ones on Ardmore. And I think the chances of that happening are pretty much zero because I mean, we're not going to be able to afford to put them in, and we're so far down on the ranks of the state DOT sidewalk installation that it's going to take a major outcry.
Is there any of the grant money for first and last mile that could work for you?
Well, I don't know. We filed for an active transportation plan under WalkWorks, and so
That's good.
Yeah, I want to get that done first, and then that'll give us the platform for making the rationale for it. So I can only stay on till 1:15 because I have I'm recording my first podcast today. So
Yay!
yeah, the Battle of Homestead Foundation has started a new podcast called Essential Work: The Past, Present, and Future of Jobs. And I'm going to have a monthly place on it for Pathways to a New Economy that works for us. So my first interview is with Amanda Woodrum, who is one of the Reimagine Appalachia leaders. So, and then we'll be looking at the different case studies that are in Reimagine Appalachia in more depth in the subsequent meetings. So I'm really excited because it's as close to a relaunch of our radio show as we could manage without a radio station.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we will send that out to Connect for sure. I can't wait to listen myself.
When it's up, when it's up. This is the first recording, and then they have a whole production team that puts on the music on the front and the promos and all the Battle of Homestead stuff. But it's going to be half an hour once a week, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Awesome.
So we have Martha's Vineyard here, and now we have North Carolina.
Yeah, great.
Hey,
JJ.
Hi.
It looks like I'm next to Dave on my screen because it's like because we're both outside. We couldn't actually be. This might be the furthest apart we've ever been geographically in the last 12 years. So yeah. So yeah. So I'm at Appalachian State in Boone, North Carolina.
Hey, Jay, can you teach for us this fall?
I
We
love
need
the
to.
delay.
We never
Yeah,
allowed you to
yeah,
leave.
yeah.
You just
Full of
split.
jokes, John Keeler. Full of jokes.
Well, I remember many years where that was.
I have
that was
a.
our dialogue.
I am still teaching. They're getting the same stuff. All the stuff I did for practice runs at Gispia is now, it's now main event down here at Appalachian State. So yeah,
I'm sure you're the linchpin of the university.
I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of linchpins at the university. When there are this many essential workers, I am not the linchpin.
Hey, I got to ask the celebrant, Dave, how's the voice today?
Fair.
Yeah,
Do I sound okay?
Bill Dunn had warned me. Did Bill talk to you about how you wanted to handle it?
Yeah, but we didn't conclude it.
You might just have to listen to us and not have a chance to respond.
Yeah.
What a perfect theme. What an amazing theme.
We've always dreamt of a time we could talk at Dave and not get any kind of response.
Yeah. I mean, my back is such that I can't play golf. My voice is such that I can't talk. To ask me to not talk and not play golf, it's like, there isn't anything else in this world.
My son would say you're living the dream. You look like you're at Appalachian State too, Dave. You and Jay have the same background.
This is my backyard.
Oh,
No
Yeah,
one
life
feels
is
bad
tough.
for Dave.
life is tough. My backyard has a basketball hoop, but no pool.
Hi, everybody.
That's
Kevin.
dream, John. You could have lived there yourself.
Kevin, if you just came on, we said, given Dave's voice, we're all getting the chance we always dreamt of, to talk at Dave, and he has no chance at rebuttal.
That's a good one. He'll find a way.
You will find a way.
I think I
Michael.
will.
So Dave, do you want us to record this as if it was your roast?
I think it is being recorded.
Oh, it is being recorded. That's great. This is going to be funny, I think. A lot of folks were excited to be able to join via Zoom from various places. So it's cool this could happen on Zoom of all the different bad things. But we're going to have a real party in real life someday. We got
Zoom's
to.
just better than reality, it's. Why did we ever waste our time building offices and things?
So much drama.
Hello, folks.
Hey, Ree.
Hi, Ree.
Ree, are you going to be Dave's spokesperson today?
When he can't talk, he can talk a little bit. Are you not talking?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we were telling him this is the dream a lot of his friends have had. We get the chance to talk at Dave, and he has no chance for rejoinder.
Yeah, right. I wish that happened here.
Hey, Brian.
I'm half a person here.
And then,
think a lot of familiar faces are popping on.
Hi, Dad.
Hey,
Hey,
Laura.
Mark,
Hello.
Susan,
Where's Laura?
Actually, that's me. I'm not Lori, but my computer's not working yet, so.
Oh, Dave's daughter, Laura, just joined, but that is funny. We thought you were Lori from Castle Shannon.
Not yet.
Laura.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi, Laura.
Susan, Mark, Brian, hello. Kristen.
Wow.
Hi, Kristen.
Hi.
How come you can't see anybody?
oh, this is
Huh?
That's actually Kathy Risco's iPad.
It is Kathy Risco's iPad.
Kathy Risco was just here.
I was just there. Now you
Yeah.
can see Otis. Otis, say hello. Say hello, Otis. Dave wants to say no. Thank you for kisses.
Nice. I'm sad I'm 12 hours away and I missed it.
That was 30 minutes
Oh.
ago.
Oh yeah, look at
Yeah.
us. And then I'm also. I can't figure out where my camera is. Hold on. Where's my camera? Is it here? Yeah, it's here. There. There's Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, congratulations.
Oh, Dave says congrats.
You look different, Loretta. Oh, Mayor.
So I will introduce my middle daughter. That's Laura.
If you can't understand him, he's introducing you to our middle daughter, Laura. Right there, who's
She said it was
listening.
okay then. Yeah, she did. There it is. So there it is.
I don't know where the rest of them are. Oh.
Who's on? Let's.
So
I'm
John,
thinking,
Right there. The
I'm thinking
console.
a lot
No,
of people
that's
who
Kevin
want to
Barnes. That's the
talk
Dean.
at Dave. Well, he can't rebut. So I wonder if we should start
Oh,
a chat line.
it's a manager's meeting. No, it's like people who are retiring. People who watch.
Jenny Easton.
He's retired. David Miller's retired. Oh. Just gonna look out here. Okay.
You guys who are trying to pass as Lori are not succeeding. I know that's not Lori.
This is how it's gonna be, just everybody staring at everybody.
I don't know if he heard you. His speakers haven't been working for months.
Oh.
I'll defer to John.
He's deferring to you, John.
That's the
Well,
million and a half, right?
Did we get the show on the road?
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone here is the host officially, so it would be helpful if everyone could mute themselves. There's be a lot of background noise going on. Thank you.
As one of my last acts as dean, I can go ahead and play the role of host. I've been on some of these where you're asked to request to speak through chat. You can do that, but I'm not very adept with chat. So I find it much more useful if you simply signify by raising your hand that you'd like to speak, and I'll get to people as quickly as I can. And Lydia, you can be co-host since you'll know a good number of people I don't know. And if I'm overlooking somebody, you help me out, okay?
You got it.
Well, I
So
could give
glad
a
you're all
5-hour
here.
speech, and I know most of you would really like to hear that, but I'll make it very succinct. And somebody said earlier, is this a roast? And the answer is, of course it is. But it's a little unfair because Dave's not really very capable of responding, and Ree's gonna try to help. A little bit ago, I was reminded of Woody Allen's movie Bananas, where you remember they have a guerrilla fighter who speaks Spanish, and they find out he actually speaks in English, but they keep translating. So Dave said something I understood and retranslated it anyway. So anyway, so you guys are going to confuse us, but that's okay. Ree's going to do her best with Dave if he can't say something and he's really eager to speak. So I just want to say that I've really enjoyed my time as Dean of GISPIA. Somehow it seems appropriate. I'm stepping down very soon. But I couldn't have done my job anywhere near as well as I did without Dave. When I arrived in early July of 2007, my first meeting was with Dave. And the first thing Dave said to me was, now we can tell you the things that we could not tell you as a candidate for the job. And he proceeded to go over a list of about 20 items. And I'll just say it reduced my eagerness to jump into everything. But on the other hand, Dave actually was very helpful. I think I hit it off with him quickly because he told me his story of being from Maine. His email, of course, is Red Sox at Pitt. And so I was able to tell him that I'd lived in New England for 8 years, went to many Red Sox games, could do the Carlton Fisk wave, knew that Carlton's actually Pudge. So I established some street cred with Dave. In fact, during my first year, Dave and his son, who I was told with a friend who became a Penguin, destroyed one of the lights in your, I think in your living room. So I got introduced to family stories there. Laura might remember that. But we went with our two sons to Cleveland to a Red Sox game, of course, and had a great time, even though it was dollar hot dog day. So it was a full house and you couldn't buy anything at the concession stand, but it got everything started well. So I've always enjoyed my time with Dave. He was my first associate dean, and he not only taught me everything I needed to know about GISPIA and Pitt, he taught me at least most of the things I needed to know about Pittsburgh, since I was very new to the city. One thing he told me, I remember early in the fall term, 2007, was when there's an Institute of Politics retreat, you need to go because there's golf. I was very disappointed, Dave. They discontinued the golf sometime later, yeah. But, so as you see, I could go on many things here, but I promise not to. I just want to say that my collegial relationship with Dave, more importantly, my friendship, has been of enormous value to me and irreplaceable. And we appreciate all of you guys and your family. And I thought I could end on a really good note. Dave, you know how many of us are reluctant to lend books to colleagues because they tend to forget? Well, I was just moving things from my dean's office to the office I'm going to have October 1st, and I came across a Red Sox book you loaned me about 13 years ago, and I never returned it. So I promise to get that back to you as soon as I can, okay? You have a lot of witnesses. So should we ask if the mayor's office wants to speak here?
I'm not sure if they're on yet. Are they? I don't think so. So I think whoever wants to go next should go. And I know Kevin, Dr. Kevin Kearns had some things he'd like to say, and I know we all want to hear him.
Actually, as a father, I'd like to ask if Laura would like to go next.
Oh, good idea. Put her on the spot.
Of all the children, I'm the least of the ones who would like to be put on the spot like that. My sister and brother are much more, I don't know, much more akin to the limelight as I, so just like to sit back and listen to what everybody has to say.
Well, that's
We'll wait
great.
while you go and get your sister and brother.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know where they are. Figures. I'm the middle one. I'm the best one though. So of course I'm the one who's here.
you definitely
They'll
have
join.
the funniest kids, Laura. But you know what? It's great timing because Mayor Perduto is signing on now, and I don't think he can stay a super long time, but I know he had some really nice things he wanted to say about his time with Dave and some influence there. And hey, Mayor, thanks for joining us.
Hi, there I am.
There you are.
There you are. Welcome, Bill.
You're right on time to join in with a little bit of a toast while you're here.
Nothing to toast with. I'm
I
toasted.
know.
No, where are you, Dave? There you are. Where are you though? It looks beautiful. Is that backyard or is that up in New England?
It's backyard.
Gotcha.
Bill,
Well,
you need to know that Dave's voice isn't very good. So we've been saying it's the chance we've always wanted all these years. We get to talk at Dave and he can't really respond very effectively. So
I imagine there were, I can't even imagine how many words you've spoken in your life, but to those that don't know, I'm also one of those that were blessed to have Dave as a professor twice, 2 different courses. And he's the reason that I went back and got my master's. I had absolutely no confidence. I didn't want to ever go through another course again in my life. And he's there like, you know, what is it you want to do when you're done with this gig? And I'm there like, I'd really like to teach at some level. And he said, well, no one's going to want to hire somebody with a bachelor's to teach for a bachelor's. You better at least get a master's. And one of the best decisions that I had, the mentor that I needed to make that decision in my life. To the countless other students that have come through your classes, and I mean, I know because I've hired a lot of them, everyone will say the same thing, one of the best professors I've had. And it doesn't just start and begin with the course, it's really the man. There's a compassion that you have that is evident. It is a realness and an authenticity that you actually care about your students, and you love the subjects you teach, and you love sharing it with others, and it's infectious, and it is a winning formula. Despite your decision to get involved in city government, you've been blessed with not only a great career, but the opportunity to basically help to strengthen the skill sets of thousands of people, and many of whom the people of Pittsburgh rely on every day. So for that, I just wanted to jump on to say thank you.
thank you, Bill. Hey, Bill, if I can tell you one parting thing. I said earlier, I cleaned out my dean's office today, moving to a new one because we have a new dean coming in October 1st. Carissa Slaughterback from the Humphrey School at the University of Minnesota. You'll be happy to know she's a specialist on urban policy. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is I left in the office a big re-elect Mayor Peduto sign for Carissa to inherit. So we appreciate you.
Well, it's going to get one more use out of it. So 2021, I will be running one more time, and then I'll go find my life's work.
Thank you for the kind words, Bill.
Thank you, Doc, and I look forward to working with you in the next several years as we put together this post-COVID economic development strategy.
And let me just say, everybody, Bill was an honest student. He did his homework.
I did.
Did his papers.
I did.
I never tried to use his, I'm a big elected official. So he was one of the most honest students going. And I really appreciated that, Bill.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, Dean.
Thank you. Who wishes to go next? Again, just signify by raising your hand or something. Lydia, is that applause or is that you saying you wanted to speak?
I was applauding, but Kevin did raise his physical hand, so.
Okay. Kevin, would you like to go?
Sure, John, thank you. And Dave, I said a lot of this on the kudos board that was set up to leave some messages for you, but I'll just simply say it again. What a remarkable career. I mean, you begin as a city manager in Maine, you come and get a PhD, you're director of finance for the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Economy League, founder of a really successful center that is doing really applied research, and author of not only a number of articles that have been highly cited, but also 2 really, really well-respected books on regionalism and governance. I mean, you're the ultimate scholar practitioner or practitioner scholar. I'd kind of put scholar practitioner, I think, first, but you're a rare breed, Dave. You really are. You're a very rare person who can do all of those things really, really well. You were the winner of the university's, the Chancellor's Public Service Award a number of years ago. You're a superb teacher. You know, Dave, you'd be almost perfect if you were not a Boston Red Sox fan. Now, look, man, this is how deeply and how much I care for you. I would not do this for just about anyone else in the world, but there it is. All right. I'm not going to leave it on for long. I may, just for a few minutes, but I happen to be in New England right now. So my view is, sort of when in Rome, right? You've got to have a Boston Red Sox hat.
That's right.
I wear my Pirates hat around every now and then, but everybody just sort of smirks. So anyway, my friend, you've been a wonderful colleague. You've been a wonderful friend. It's been an honor to work with you, and congratulations on a job enormously well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Who would like, Kathy?
Kathy, unmute.
It's not showing that you were muted, but we couldn't hear anything.
It might be the headphones.
Can't hear.
Yeah, we're still not hearing you, Kathy.
We'll come back to you.
Dave, she was saying it was great to work with you.
I was going to translate for everybody. She was actually saying more than that.
Who wants to go while Kathy figures out her audio problem? Don't be bashful. Mark.
Thanks very much, Dean. I think I'm probably in a minority here because I'm neither a colleague nor a former student nor a family member. I just happen to be a elected official. I prefer to call myself a public servant, but having never taken a class from Dave, I can still tell you I learned a great deal from this guy. How to envision our area as being something better than it is now and what it potentially could be. So you can see I've got my, I can't stick around too long. I've got my Green Tree shirt on because I have to go out and work our farmer's market here in a little bit. But thanks, Dave, for all the inspiration. I hope you enjoy your retirement as much as I've enjoyed mine. I'm not retired from public life, but my private life, I've really enjoyed the last 3+ years of retirement, and I hope you get to do the same. And God bless you and your family.
And thank you for being such a regional elected official, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. You're the dream.
Patricia?
Hi, Dave, I am probably one of the most recent people to be in your orbit because I've only been involved with Connect for a couple of years, but I find that having an organization under your guidance and your vision that gathers people in common pursuit around a common purpose and have it work so well and so effectively. I think this is one of the most effective municipal organizations I belong to ever. And I think it's a tribute to your leadership and your vision for all of us together are stronger than any of us alone. And in these days when everybody is like, me first, and I'll take care of mine and everybody else can just deal with it, the concept of collaboration where all of us together are stronger is just a really powerful force for bringing things into a better place. We're all struggling with common problems, many of which we've never faced before. And knowing that we have colleagues and that we have resources of your department that you've created to help us in these really difficult situations has just been absolutely amazing. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I wish you all the best, really and truly.
Thank you, Patty.
Who's next? Don't be shy. George, is that asking to speak or is that applause?
Yeah, that's asking to speak. Well, Dave, I do want to just congratulate you, first of all, on a great career, and also wanted to say that you are one of my favorite people, and I've really enjoyed the last 16 years here in Pittsburgh. You were kind of the one that really reached out and recruited Alicia and I to come to Pittsburgh when we had never, ever in our lives thought that that would be a place that we would go. And then as we were looking for houses, and after a night full of tears when my wife realized how little house we could afford in Squirrel Hill, which is where everybody was telling us we had to live if we were going to be Pitt faculty, just recruiting us and bringing us to Mount Lebanon, introducing us to Marie, and just bringing us into your house was such a special start for our time here in Pittsburgh. And I really need to thank you for introducing me to the local government community here. I mean, I guess you had me doing work before I actually started at Pitt, and I think my first assignment was to buy golf clubs so that I could go to the Institute of Politics golf outing. I never owned clubs before, and I think your exact words were, "Well, you gotta own golf clubs." And it was just a really, really wonderful and a great way to start at Pitt. And really, in terms of a mentor in my career, I really do want to say thank you. I mean, not only introducing me to the local government community, but we've written articles together, we've worked together on book projects, we've done consulting jobs together, and I've learned so much about from your experiences and from the things that you've been interested in and just really dedicated to in public administration and local government and regional governance. And I really do wish you the best in retirement, or should we say the next phase of your career. But I really do appreciate all that you've done for me and for my family.
Thank you, George.
If you haven't noticed Susan's background, it reminds me of when Reagan was projected on an enormous screen at the Republican convention. It'd be very frightening to have a huge Dave behind you.
Well,
I'll take
behind me.
Since that was the second golf reference in the first three speakers, I had to search my photos for one of Dave, and I have to be honest, they were all of Dave golfing. So, your next chapter is already predestined, Dave, and all of us feel you over our shoulders as we go forward, knowing that Dave is on our shoulder, keeping us dedicated to the values and mission that you have instilled an entire generation of leaders. I'd like to know who gets the honorary Fram oil filter if anyone never heard Dave use his Fram oil filter, which I think was handed to him maybe by Jim Turner. But Dave is, before he was Mr. Regionalism, he was Mr. Financial Management, and he would have a Fram oil filter metaphor. And you youngins on the phone are going to have to Google this commercial, but there was a commercial that said, "Do you want to pay me now or pay me later?" And the guy held up a Fram oil filter, which was probably the most original academic prop ever, Dave. So I don't know who gets it. I think Jordy is probably going to have to carry it forward. But I just want to echo everyone's esteem and regard for you. And you do loom large in my life and in our community. And I appreciate you and you being emeritus, because we know you'll be around when we need your wisdom and guidance. So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Susan.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, Kathy, you got yours fixed?
Yeah, well, I stole the computer from Mike, and he joined me. So I wanted to say that Kristen and I just had the lucky time to spend with Dave and Ree and have lunch with them, and really get to catch up on Connect stuff. I was very, very lucky to be the recipient of a phone call from Dave back in I want to say September of 2009, saying, I have this crazy idea and I've heard you're wonderful and you're a GISPIA grad, so do you want to come and make this all work for me and for our region? And I said, okay. And that was really the beginning of us getting Connect really up and running and moving. And it was an amazing experience to take the genesis of a really important idea and turn it into this amazing thing that, Kristen took over and turned into a bigger, amazing thing. And Lydia's now taken over and turned into this bigger thing. Sorry. But anyway, Dave, thank you for taking a chance on me and for giving me a chance to have a really, really fun time making your vision happen. So.
I'd just like to note that both Dave and Kathy won awards for their work with Connect. So we all thank both of you.
And Kristen.
And Kristen.
Well, the list is long, Dave. I was just trying to acknowledge Kathy for the minute.
Well, thank you. But I know that the work is not done. And, in my new role, I'm excited to still be involved. In Mike's new role, he's excited to be involved in what Connect's doing too. So it doesn't end here. And Dave, I'll always look to you for good guidance and help. So thank you. And, we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
And thank you for the clam chowder.
Anytime, you just need to ask.
Wait, I thought that was chowder.
Chowder.
Who would like to be next? Don't be bashful.
Can I go?
Sure.
I'd have to get my cat to the vet, so I wanted to go before that. But I just wanted to say thank you so much, Dave, for everything. It sounds like this is not an unusual story, but you are the reason that I got brought into GISPIA and into Connect. And there are a lot of amazing things that I learned from you. I could go on about, but I think the thing that I really value about what you did for me is that you really created the community that I felt part of. There are lots of amazing people at GISPIA and in Connect and all of these organizations. And I think you really brought everybody together and created a space for that community to happen. And it means a lot to so many of us, and probably more than you'll ever know. And I really appreciate it. I just wanted to say my favorite moment with you, I think, was when, first you decided that I was coming to GISPIA. You were the one reaching out to me to convince me to come, and you did an excellent job. But my second semester at GISPIA, I walked into the regional government students group, and you said, "You're in my class, right?" And I said, "No." And that was clearly the wrong answer. So in so many words, you told me that I could take my economics class later and that I needed to be in your class. And that was true. I learned more in that class that's relevant to what I'm currently doing than in any other class that I've taken. So just, thank you for everything and for always bringing a lot of humor and joy and just, really being there for people in the way that I think is really important. So thank you.
Thank you, Joellen.
Thank you.
And by the way, Joellen is heading our lead to justice program on diversion. And in this particular year that we're in right now, it might be one of the most important programs that are ongoing now in the city of Pittsburgh. Allegheny County connection.
That's terrific. Who would like to go next? And I'll remind you, Lydia, you're helping me here if you see somebody I'm missing.
Dean Keeler, I'll go. This is, my name's Alex. For those I don't know, I'm a colleague in the Office of Community and Governmental Relations. I'm also a MPPM student. And I had the pleasure of having Dave this past spring for public administration. And I think a few of my classmates are on it as well. Kayleen goes on. I have to say, though, I was born and raised a Yankees fan, so this Red Sox
no,
is shocking to me. It was winter, so we never talked baseball. And I'm taking Professor Kern's course this fall, so I'm going to remember this image of him with a Red Sox hat on. But Dave interacted with our office a lot. You know, a lot of people at GISPIA under his influence did. And so there was definitely my appreciation of the legacy of collaboration there long before I came to CGR. But one thing that stood out to me from the class in this past spring in Dave's approach was one of the main sort of assignments was reflection journals, really reflecting on conversations we were having, the readings we were doing, the work we were doing, and what was going on in current events. And I think that's very emblematic of the approach that he wanted to instill in us to take away to government, local government, regional government, is that you really put into a course or government, or you really take away from those things what you put into it, right? And that has stuck with me, and I think that it was just a great lesson, and I'm happy to have had your course, Professor Miller, to know you, and look forward to hoping to work with you again in the future. So I'll just end with, I know it's a shortened season, but I still got to say go Yankees. So.
No, you don't. I grew up on Long Island, and I'm now a Red Sox fan.
Excellent. Hey, Dave, since you're having a little bit of a hard time speaking, I want to make the most important response I can give. Dave was blessed because he got to spend all these years at Posvar Hall. We all know the site of Forbes Field, where that marker outside reminds Yankee fans that
that's right.
This marks the spot where October 13, 1960, Yogi had to look up and watch Maz's homer sailing over the fence. Mickey Mantle said it was the worst moment of his baseball career. So, it's really kind of a monument to the weaknesses that the Yankees do display on occasion. So.
And Alex, I just want you to know, Alex, I'm wearing this only as a sign of my dear friendship for Dave. It's very, 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 very painful for me to have this thing. It's like burning
True appreciation.
I may have to take it off real soon.
Kevin, let me just.
Steve Morris had his hand up.
Kevin, just let me say, I could never wear a Yankee hat under no circumstances.
You're a good man,
I'm
Dave.
gonna Photoshop one for Kevin's card someday.
Could I go?
Yes, sure. And Steve Morris, I know, has his hand up eventually.
Hey, Bill, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I got here about 51 years ago to GISPIA. It was in the last century, actually. But anyway, when I first got here, I went to dinner with the founding dean, who was a public administration person. And I mentioned that I was a political scientist. He said that I couldn't teach in the school. And I brushed that off. But the reason I start there is because what I learned from Dave over many years is what I'd summarize as the term pracademic. Dave brings both academic credentials and research, especially on regional governance and regional political cultures in the United States. But he also brings years and years of practical experience, local government manager, as the head of the budgeting office for the city of Pittsburgh, head of the Economy League, many, many other things. Dave and I started we were the co-founders and directors of a Macedonia Center for Public Policy and Management. We taught about 100 students altogether. 54 of them got degrees in Master of Public Policy and Management. And it was quite an experience. We had the first distance education program between the United States and Europe. World Bank had one too, but it didn't work half the time. So anyway, we had a great time doing this. And Dave is a beloved faculty member and friend of many, many Macedonian students. Now back to the Pracademic. What did I learn from Dave? I mean, I'm principally an academic. I've had some practical experience, but as a Pracademic, what did I learn from Dave? Well, first of all, he taught me that when you're in a meeting and you pass notes around, just have one page. If you have more than one page, people won't read it. So that's one thing I learned from Dave. The second thing I learned from Dave was the open door policy. Any good manager and faculty member will have an open door, right? Come into my office anytime the door is open. So I learned over the years, I passed by Dave's office, whether it was in the dean's office or down at Connect and Center for Metropolitan Studies. I learned that when I passed his door, I say, look in, and he wasn't there. Anyway, I must have passed Dave's door 100 times and he wasn't there. So I started passing the door and saying, hey, Dave, how are you? Just to round out the experience. Kevin Kearns was right next door and he heard this all the time. Anyway, that was meant to be a joke, Dave, that Pracademics, if they want to put their best foot forward, leave the door open, right? Don't shut it. Oh, I'm sorry, my joke didn't go over. I thought it was pretty funny myself, but anyway, Dave, you've made a tremendous contribution to the school and to its many programs, and we wish you all the best, and hear, hear.
Thank you, Bill.
Diane? You got to take the mute off.
Thanks, Bill.
All right. I just wanted to say, Dave, I enjoyed working with you with course scheduling. You helped me a lot. And then you would come down and I would show you pictures of my grandchildren. And you said, wait, I got to show you pictures of my grandchildren. And they were all on your phone. I enjoyed that, Dave. I just wanted to say thank you and go Pirates.
Lydia, we missing anybody?
Steve would like to go, and then Jay, and then Patrick, and then Kristen, and then Jenny.
All right. All right.
And Michael Kenny also has his hand up.
And Michael Kenny. Yeah, if you could just write your name in the chat, it's much easier. There's 3 pages. 3 pages.
And Taylor. Steve, you want to go ahead?
Me?
Yes, Steve.
Oh, hey, Dave, Steve Morris, Forest Hills. I have to get off. I'm getting ready for 4 committee meetings tonight. I wanted to say thanks. I met you back when I was with LGA and you were with the Economy League, and you've been an advisor, a friend, a mentor since then, and work with us here in Forest Hills, work with us with APMM, State Management. It's just been terrific, and it's going to be a big void left at Gispia. As you know, I'm an alum, and I really regret seeing you retire, because even though I didn't have you for class, I felt like I did a lot of times when you were helping out with something. So I just wanted to say thanks and good luck.
Thanks, Steve.
And Steve, again, I used this expression earlier, 4 committee meetings tonight. You're really living the dream. We're all envious.
I know, I can't wait.
I have to be there too, so we're all on Zoom now, so it's pretty interesting. Steve,
Lydia, you take over. You know your list here.
Yes. So actually, next we've got Kristen, my fabulous predecessor.
I I was trying to stop feeling emotional so I could.
I've been sobbing right along with you, Kristen.
And I thought maybe it happened, but it really didn't. But
Stop it. You already did it here.
God, I know. I just cried like a year ago. It's impossible for me to say what Dave has meant to me and my career, and to Kathy and Lydia and Lindsay, and I'm sure Tess and all of us. No one has ever driven me more crazy than Dave. He can be a nightmare. And the thing that has always, the reason that's okay is because no matter what was going on, no matter how I felt, no matter what stressful situation we were in, I always knew that I could go to Dave and that he would sit there with me and he would help me through it. And I knew that he always supported me, whether we were talking about fights down the hall or, you know, issues with the mayor's office or, you know, even personal things. And I think most of you know that when I started with Connect, I had no experience with policy or the civic world, or I had no idea what was going on. And when I had 2 jobs at the time, and at some point I came to this place where I had to decide which job to do, and my other job paid me more, and we were also about to tell the membership that they had to start paying to be a part of Connect. And though Dave always knew this would be fine and this wasn't a problem, I was like, oh shit, this is over, we're done here. I better go to the job that's gonna pay me, right? Little did we know, you know, a year and a half later, I had just had my second baby, and Kathy came over to see me, and we found out, like, on the porch, you know, that Kathy had breast cancer, and I just felt like I had to come, you know, I wanted to help and I needed to come back. And I'll never forget, Dave came up to me in the first, I was a little nervous, you know, I had left and I'm back, and Dave came up to me in the meeting and he kind of patted me on the shoulder and he just said, you know, I'm really glad you're back, kid. I think you really made the right decision. And I came back to work part-time, you know, I came back to just help. And, you know, I don't even know how many, 6 years later, you know, it has been the greatest job of my life. And I know more about sewers than I ever thought I would know. I love local government. I still work with George and I work in 3 different communities, and I just can't thank Dave enough. And I hope that Dave can also thank me, because I gave him his best friend, his dog, and you know, I just, thanks.
You're welcome. And thank you for Will. He's sleeping over there as we speak.
For those of you who might not know the backstory, Kristen dropped off one day a 6-year-old chocolate Labrador retriever that she had found for us to take care of for a couple of days. And he's still with us. And I tell
2 years later.
I tell Kristen every time I see her that he has been an absolute godsend to us, particularly through my health issues of the last couple of years. So it truly has turned out to be match in heaven. Thanks,
I told Kristen when she was here earlier, Dave and Will go to bed first, and then I go upstairs. And it never fails that Dave's on his side of the bed and Will is on my side of the bed. With his on my pillow.
When I have to just share that when I got out of the car with that dog, I knew what I was doing, you know. And Ree comes out and Ree was like, and I go, Ree, don't hate me. And she goes, I already hate you. Then maybe 6 months later, she said to me, because she was just afraid of getting attached and losing the dog. And she said to me, you know, if this dog died tomorrow, it would have been so worth it. And I was just like, oh.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We love Will. And I want to thank Kristen for Dave. Jay, you're up next.
Yo, Jay.
Did Jay get kicked off?
I don't know where he is.
Okay, well then, Jenny, you're up next.
Hello, everybody. Is that me? Congratulations, Dave.
There's a voice from the past.
It's an honor to celebrate your truly exceptional, astoundingly impactful career. Let's see. You've improved countless communities, touched many lives, and steered many an errant grad student back onto course, including me. I worked as Dave's grad assistant around 2007, 2008. I was really intimidated at the time by the scale of Dave's imagination, the clarity of the way he saw government systems, and how obvious in hindsight his common sense observations about how to improve them seemed. Why didn't such things occur to me? Of course, problems cross boundaries. Of course, we should collaborate across boundaries to address them. So I stayed at Gispia for a little while after graduating to play a minor role in helping Dave tilt at this windmill that at the time, I admit, thought seemed completely out of reach, creating a formal venue for the meaningful intergovernmental cooperation of every community touching the city of Pittsburgh. Crazy, right? Luckily, he was in charge of convincing elected officials to buy in, and I was in charge only of things like picking out fruit plates for the event that would become the first Congress.
I remember that.
Because as you all know, Connect did indeed come to be, and it endures. And today it's accomplishing some seriously impressive things. Dave's vision ultimately inspired me to leave behind a struggling career in newspaper journalism and forever become involved in the messy business of local government. And I am so grateful. Thank you, Dave, for everything, and congratulations. I wish you all the best.
Thanks, Jenny.
Jenny's the original. And she actually still comes to so many Connect things, and we love you.
I'm a fangirl.
Michael Kenny, are you up next? I see you've got your
Dave,
coffee ready.
Yep, great. Thank you, Lydia. Dave, one of the biggest highlights for me and for my family in coming to Gispia has been getting to know you and Marie and your family. My colleagues know that I spent a lot of time over the last decade studying an outlawed activist network in the UK. But when I think about the power of social networks, Al Muhajirun has nothing compared to the Dave Miller Network. I literally got my house, my lawyer, and my dog, if you can see him there, through the power of the Dave Miller Network. This guy is so well plugged in locally that he can make things happen. So it's really not a surprise for me to hear all the wonderful things from folks in the room today about, you know, the regional governance and all the local government issues. I knew that that was a central part of Dave's research. That's not my area, but what I've been able to see is the power of the Miller Network in action in my life. I wouldn't be in Mount Lebanon today if it wasn't for Dave. I remember exactly what happened. I came in, Keeler had been recruiting me to come to Gispia. We went through this long, drawn-out negotiation, John will remember. And then we finally—
Very long.
It's, yeah, little long. And I had John trying to get me to come to Squirrel Hill, and Dave's like, no. You don't want to go to Squirrel Hill. You want to come to Mount Lebanon. And Dave drove me around Mount Lebanon. He actually introduced me to my realtor, who ended up getting our house through her. And so it's just been an amazing experience that I've had and that my wife has had as well through Dave and Ree's friendship. So I want to thank you both for your friendship. I want to thank you, Dave, for being a wonderful mentor. Another thing that I experienced through your friendship was learning so much about Gispia and Gispia's institutional history. When I became a program director, you kind of made it a point to make sure that I understood the bigger picture when it came to Gispia. And this past year, when I had the honor of serving on the Dean Search Committee, you also wanted to reinforce some points. So I just want to let you know that those discussions were not in vain, that they really shaped my outlook, and they played an important role, I think, in bringing in this next person who we're all going to be happy to see carry on John's legacy. So Dave, your impact on GISPIA has been profound. You've put together a fantastic team at Connect, and so your legacy is only going to continue to grow. So enjoy yourself. You and Ree both deserve it, and I look forward to seeing you around very soon. Thank you, Dave, for everything.
Thanks, Michael.
Hey, Michael, I have to interject something here. I'm jumping the queue that Lydia set up. So I had two things. One is, I said it took a long time to convince the Kennys to come. I appreciate the fact you guys did. One thing that took even longer, much longer, so long I didn't think it was going to happen, was Dave wooing the McCune Foundation to get that endowment for Connect. Dave, was it 14 years ago or something? We started talking to McCune or something. Anyway, but Dave persisted. Dave didn't give up. There were a lot of people who weren't very optimistic, but that's great, and that helps perpetuate that legacy. My other point is simply, Michael, I know you think Dave was being nice to you because you're a good guy and he likes your family, but you're from Boston. He had to be nice to you. So
I just point out that McEwen Foundation, a lot of kudos to just picking up the ball.
Did everybody hear him? Okay.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Mary Ellen, if you are still here, it's your turn. Did we lose her?
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
It's wonderful to see so many wonderful faces and actually to see them. And, you know, Dave, I don't even know what to say. I remember clearly that first meeting where you invited all of us to come, all the communities, and we were people who didn't cross bridges, who didn't cross the road. You know, we didn't even cross the road at that time. And, you know, that was sort of not long after they were talking about forced consolidation.
Yep.
And that kind of had everybody like so defensive. And that came at municipalities from an angle of, you know, you shouldn't be there, period. Your meeting was about how we get together to lift everybody up. You know, that forever will be etched in my mind. And in the time that Connect, you know, I was there from day one, Patrick, we remember, you know, you have lifted up so many because of the work you've done. So, and we could never thank you enough. And it's just been, I wish I was there to give you a big kiss and a hug. So thank you so much.
Or an elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right. I love you, Dave.
Thank you, Mary Ellen.
You're welcome.
And I tell that story about what you thought of that person 1,000 times.
Yep.
That has really made a very big impression on me.
Oh, Mary Ellen, everyone's making me cry. Jerry, Jay's back on. So maybe we'll let Jay sneak back in and then it'll be Jerry next.
And Lydia, remember Taylor's trying to say something too.
Yes, Taylor's on the list. He's right after Jerry.
Can you all hear me now? Okay.
We
Great.
always
Hi.
say.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm Jay Rickabaugh. I'm now an assistant professor in public administration at Appalachian State in Northwest North Carolina. Dave and I go back to August of 2009 because, and I remember the first day I met Dave was in his administration of public affairs class, and it was a party because it was his birthday. And so, now for the end of his career, I feel sort of, uniquely blessed to be able to have a celebration at the end of his time at GISPIA as well. So, I've been a student. I've worked with Dave at Connect. I've worked with Dave as my dissertation chair. I have worked with him on the RIGO project, and that's really what I'm going to sort of talk a little bit about in sort of my comments. Jen Nellis, who was on, may still be on, but needed to run. George Doherty and I and Dave have been part of this project to bring together regional organizations from around the country together to look at commonalities, whether that's SPC, whether that's Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission, whether that's the High Country Council of Governments here in North Carolina, how they all cooperate with one another. And I remember Dave telling me that this was an idea, and I probably should have figured out, because I'd worked with him long enough, that Dave doesn't let a lot of grass grow between the time he has an idea and he starts to execute that idea. And then all of a sudden I talked to him maybe 6 months later, and Jen Nellis is on board from City University of New York. And, all these other people are sort of involved in this project, and we're starting to collect data, and all of this is going on. And you can get on the train now. And I was like, great, I will get on. So, and it has radically reshaped my career in ways that I could not have foreseen. When I came to GISPIA in 2009, having moved to Pittsburgh from Milwaukee, sort of taking a big leap of faith and, having somebody who could guide me in this process. So you've meant a tremendous amount to me, Dave. So, and I know Jen and I are, excited to figure out what's next in terms of the RIGO project and continuing that work forward. So, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jay.
And Jen had to hop off, but she said the same thing in the chat, and she can't wait to catch up with you. So you got a team. Jerry, another OG founder kind of person.
So it was 1990, I think, when I took Dave's class, and it was the debate class. And it introduced me initially to the concept of all the metropolitan governance and fragmentation and what that all meant, not just in this region, but elsewhere. It ultimately became my dissertation topic. And I used Dave's Metropolitan Power Diffusion Index. We published a couple of articles. And later when I went to teach, I started using Dave's debate methodology in many of my courses, because I always found it so exciting, and then my students always found that so exciting as well. I think most people, they didn't want to listen to me talk for 3 hours, but I think that was the secret that Dave taught me.
As a former student, Jerry, it was great.
Well, that's all due to Dave.
Full circle. Taylor, you're next.
Okay, hi everybody. Dave, I haven't been your student. I haven't been a co-author. We haven't worked on anything together at Connect or anywhere else, but I've been, I think, a friend, at least in part. I remember the first time we met was when I was interviewing for the job of the Human Security Assistant Professor. You were the associate dean, as Dean Keeler mentioned earlier in the conversation. And I walked into your office, sat down, and welcome, and like you had somehow
here.
Discovered that I was nervous. Really solid person who is somebody, even in a contentious faculty meeting, one can turn to Dave and say,
You cut out, Terry.
I think we're missing you, Taylor.
Or Taylor, I'm sorry.
referring to.
I think think we're getting every other word.
I'm traveling in a car.
Taylor, maybe you can put it on the kudos board. And you look great, though.
I'm on the move.
Ooh. Well, Taylor, I know you'll call Dave.
You hear me?
Not looking. Maybe, yeah.
Dave,
Diane Cohen had a good idea of you stopping your video. If you stop your video, we might be able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That was good.
That help? Okay, boys. Did you hear anything I said before?
Yeah, no, not really. It was all chopped up.
All right, I'll just very briefly say, Dave,
We lost you again, Taylor.
You know, it looks like he's wearing a Red Sox hat in that picture, though. So.
Sounds like he's playing the ukulele, actually.
Well, Patrick, you were next. Oh, Taylor, I'm so sorry.
You're a friend from the day I met you.
I got that.
That was
That
the
was
best
good.
part.
And he has been a friend since day one.
Yeah.
Lost it again.
Oh,
We lost you, Taylor, but we heard the best part.
And Taylor can explain all this on the chairlift at Seven Springs. So I'll get to hear the story.
There you go.
It's perfect.
Thanks, Taylor, for trying so hard. Patrick.
Okay, so I don't know everybody on the call, and I apologize, but my name's Patrick Dowd, and Dave, congratulations is true, and on the retirement. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations on the retirement, but I don't actually buy it. I'm not really convinced that you're retiring. The fact of the matter is that's what you do when you have the end of your career. And the end of your work, so to speak, but your work is a passion more than it is about a career. It's a deep commitment. So I'm committed. I'm sure you're going to be committed to keep doing this work. So I'm not really convinced it's retirement is just as much as the next phase. I haven't been a student of yours. I was an academic at one point, but I'm not an academic now. We were never in class together, but at the same time, we actually embarked on a learning experience, for me anyway, a tremendous learning experience more than 10 years ago now, almost 12 years ago. And I'm really grateful for that. I remember when you came to my council office, I was a newly elected councilman in the city of Pittsburgh, and you came to my office, and I think we had met once or twice before casually, but we hadn't really talked business, so to speak. And you came to the office and you told me about this idea of bringing together municipalities, and I was completely enamored of it. And I remember saying, and to Jenny's point, and others, Mary Ellen and others were talking about the consolidation report that was looming at that time, and we talked about how we might do something to bring a bunch of municipalities together. And it was a little crazy, I have to be honest. I thought at the time we were both a little nuts on that, particularly you, but I was along for the ride, and I thought it was great. And I remember we sat in the mayor's office, you and Ravenstall and Lamb and I, and we talked about this, and we all, yeah, let's try it. Let's give it a try. And you had talked to a bunch of municipalities, so you'd been doing this shuttle diplomacy. And then I'll never forget, you said, look, the best day to have this meeting, it's going to be Halloween. So the first meeting of Connect, let's have it on Halloween. And I remember thinking, this is crazy, but okay, let's do it. And I remember then at one point, I've always thought, you know, I can learn from anybody and we should all learn from people. And I made a comment to you about that. It was an off the cuff comment. And you leaned in. That we were at a meeting, Michael Lamb and somebody else was there. And you said, Patrick, you should say that at the Connect meeting. You should say that at the Connect meeting. And I thought, it seems so obvious. Why would I say that the city could learn from the other municipalities in the region? And you said, you should say it. And sure enough, I said that. That was my job at that meeting, was to say that the city could learn from the other municipalities. And you know, Dave,
hey,
do you know how many people remember that statement? And do you know how many people thought that was a big deal? To me, it seemed like the obvious thing. To you, it was obvious too, but you also knew the weight that it would have. And as simple and as basic as that statement was, it was really important for that meeting. And it was really important for me. I've come to, that has become something that I've never forgotten. And in all of the things that I've done ever since, it's become an incredible thing. And it goes back, I forget who mentioned the open door, but that reminded me of the open door. And it was your sort of idea of knowing where all these municipalities were, including the city, and how to bring them together. You understood both the academic side and the practical side and the kind of personality side. It was really impressive. And it was a crazy idea. It was an absolutely crazy idea to bring these groups and these municipalities together. But it wouldn't have happened without you, because you understood all of those elements. And the legacy that you've been able to bring together these great, talented people, Kathy, Kristen, Lydia, others, to do the work. It's been amazing. And I think the McCune, the Dean mentioned the McCune gift. I think that kind of the personnel and the resources that you've been able to marshal for Connect has also been amazing. And so I'm not convinced that this is really retirement as much as just the end of this phase. And I'm really looking forward, and because of all the fun that I've had in the prior work with you, I'm really looking forward to what comes next and to working with you as you continue this work forward. I'm grateful for everything that you've done, Dave. It's been amazing.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. Actually, RJ, if you're still on, is next.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here, and I know I'm in trouble because I've been almost crying thinking about trying not to cry. So I'm doomed. I already know that. But yeah, I figured I already said enough on the Kudo board, but then, you know, I wanted to show up and say a little something so people knew I was here. You know, oh God, I'm doomed already. For one, I do want to say, by the way, I was involved in the Rego thing when they were still RGOs, and I maintain that I'm loyal to that name still. So, you know, just so much of what I do in the different local government roles that I've taken on, and when I get into, you know, a room of people that are from different groups, different stakeholders, agencies, whatever. I took a trip down memory lane a couple months ago, I think, when I was cleaning out my Google Drive, and I found all of the journal entries back from, I think, what was it, like Principles of Public Administration or whatever the intro course was that you taught. And usually when you go back and look at something that you wrote, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, the first thing you think is that you were very stupid and you knew nothing, and you thought that you knew a whole lot. But it's funny to see there were the seeds of like the principles that I bring to my career now, and they're really not that far off, honestly. And many other things that I said in 2013, 14 were stupid. But you know, when it was talking about things that I learned under Dr. Miller, who I will always call Dr. Miller. I'm sorry, it's like trying to call your mom by her first name, calling him Dave. So much of that was just so foundational to to getting into, you know, a room of people from whatever, the ICMA, some seminar, or any of these other national places, and it feels like sometimes you're yelling down from the bottom of the well of how silly we do things in Western Pennsylvania. But there's also all this really cool stuff that comes out of, you know, having municipalities that work together as a region and have their unique identities. And, you know, I don't think that I would have that same perspective if I wasn't fortunate enough to have that as one of my first classes at GISPIA and kind of get set down on the path that I was. And I mean, there are probably so many other managers, directors, you know, whatever other job titles we have now that would say the same thing. So I always tell people this when I talk about how important my experience was at GISPIA. And it was the very first day that I was there for orientation. And he got up there in front of everyone, there probably a couple hundred of us at least, you know, the first time we're all meeting each other, and said, I want you to know that if you're not here to change the world, you're sitting in the wrong seat. And, you know, local government's a tough career. You take a lot of hits sometimes, and a lot of people don't see what you do. But I always think, I'm sorry, Lydia, I'm killing you. I always think back to that day. And that was the day that I felt like maybe I was on the right path. And it's your fault, Dr. Miller. So when I do get around to changing the world, however that works out, I'm fully going to blame you. And, you know, like I said, I'm not the only one that could say as much. So here I am. That's all she wrote.
Thank you, RJ.
RJ, you got me good.
I got myself good. You know what? I don't cry about anything. I cry at like dad commercials and in Pixar movies, and apparently this. So
it actually is shocking to see RJ cry, because she is the bravest person I've seen in a lot of meetings lately, just saying all the hardest truths that Dave has probably taught her how to say. So next we've got Paul Nelson, and then Prince, and then Yanni.
Yeah, thanks. Everybody, I want to say thank you. What fun it's been to hear all of these dimensions of Dave's work. Dave, I haven't had that much direct contact with your scholarly work or with the Connect work. I knew broadly what you were up to. And Dave didn't have anything to do with bringing me to Pittsburgh. What I would like to say, Dave, is that you had a lot to do with keeping me here, helping me to stay here. Dave was a friend and a supporter during the first rocky phase of my time as a faculty member at GISPIA, and I learned a lot from you working side by side with you when I was a program director, including about the open door, like that. And I always knew that I had a friend, and that was at the end of the hallway. Thank you for all of that.
It's awesome.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for staying.
Dave, I have a special guest who wants to say hi too.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Ree.
Yeah, Ree complained that she was sort of only half in the picture. I think Dave set it up that way. But...
Hi, Ann.
Congratulations. Yay.
Ann's missed people crying because they're so attached to Dave. You know, it's just, it's been an amazing thing. So we're going to get this recording, and Ann's going to watch the whole thing, Dave.
Well, see, Ann, if he really does retire and stays home, wait a minute, truck going past, I have to go back to work full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been
Because
home
I will kill him.
Yes.
22 years. I've been home for 22 years since I was pregnant. Yeah, with Willie. I think, yeah.
Hey, Ree, you made a mistake there. There'd be an awful lot of witnesses if we pick up the paper and find out something happened to Dave, you know.
Yep. That'll be it.
Oh, honey, I would never kill you.
Thank you. See, she's smart.
It's on the
Okay,
record,
go
been
ahead, Lydia.
recorded.
It's been recorded.
Ann would never do.
Flowers don't talk back or demand things. So
I'm not sure if we, oh, Prince is here with the newest member of the
baby.
Prince Matthews family.
Hello.
Wow.
Hey, everyone.
Cute.
Hey, everyone. Hi, Dave. Thank you for everything. Words can't express how, grateful I am for everything you've done for me, my family, and really the world at large. And yeah, and congrats on retirement. I mean, I can't even think about retiring. I feel as though I'm just kind of getting started myself. So, hopefully one day, I can retire like you. I really appreciated, just every experience you brought to the table, from being your graduate student assistant, from, being your student, as well as being your friend. And, you spoke on topics that resonated with me and a lot of others when it wasn't popular, to talk about those things, and I'll forever remember those things, and finally, I'm a man of many hats, but I don't have a Red Sox hat. I used to have a purple one. So I'm going to get another one. And if I find a really nice one, I'll send one to you.
You can have mine, Prince. You can have mine.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll come pick it up.
Prince, Dave's going to send the baby a Red Sox cap.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, well, hey, that works.
Oh, so cute. And then, yeah, oh, Dave, Prince, I'm so glad you brought the baby.
Yeah, he's
How old now?
2 months.
Oh my gosh, you have so
Oh my
much to
goodness.
catch us up on.
I know. I've been a lot busier than I thought I would be, but yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'll get back into the loop. I just checked my email today, so it was kind of crazy because I'm like, oh wow, Dave's retiring, and I was just like, oh no, I gotta hurry up and get on the call.
Oh, I'm so glad. So we've got Yanni and then Tess, and then I think that might be it of everyone, unless anyone who hasn't had a chance to say anything. Oh, Brian, do you want to? Did I just miss you?
Brian?
I just wrote something quick. I gotta go. Dave, great working with you. Don't be a stranger.
He's not. We already know
Okay.
that.
Who is that? Oh.
Sorry, Yanni, your turn.
Okay. Hi there. Hi, Professor Miller and Ring. I should
Hi,
say.
Yanni.
Haven't seen you for such a long time. I really miss you. And I'm very grateful for all your kind help, both in my research and in my family. In my research, your insightful suggestions and ideas offers me great inspirations, both in my papers and my books. I want to turn my PhD dissertation into a book, so I got some time and opportunity to work here. And also I do some field study and interviews here. That's all good experience to me. And also I'm very grateful for your invitation here. I have a short time being together with my husband, so I really want you to meet my son. Here's my
Oh, look. Oh, so cute.
Say hello.
Yay.
He's 3 months now, and without this working experience here, I can't have my baby. My husband and I separated since we are get married. So with this working experience here, we've been here together for 2 months, and then here comes my son. His name is Tata. The moment I share this news with Miller and with Steve, and you give me a big heart. hug. And also I want my baby give you a remote hug back.
Oh, Tata is so cute.
So cute.
Thank you. I really hope there might be some opportunity in the future. Oh,
There will be.
in person, and we can hug the baby. Thank you.
Yanni, thank you for all the masks and the gloves and everything. Oh, never mind. What?
Cute.
Okay. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Such a great age diversity on this phone call, on this Zoom call.
Hey, I wrestled up my husband. I figured he should probably say hi and happy retirement. So
Yeah, happy retirement. Happy freedom. From
oh my gosh. Oh no, we're still gonna drag him back into things. Don't worry.
He has so many still scheduled Zoom calls. He's not going anywhere. Anyway, Tess is our newest Connect project coordinator, and it's her 1-year anniversary on Monday at Gispia, and she is taking her first Gispia classes this summer. So Tess, do you want to maybe kind of be our closing remarks here? No pressure.
No, I was just waiting in case anyone had to scoot out. If anyone has to go, feel free to jump in. But I do want to add that, I mean, compared to everyone here who kind of got to watch Dave build up his kingdom, his legacy here, I have been in the office for a very short time with Dave. And among your vast accomplishments and your brilliance, which can often lead people to be distant, you remain such an inviting person, and you really draw people in. And as Lydia said, it's my 1-year anniversary next week, and I still remember how welcoming you made the office on the first day. And you told me that if I wasn't having fun, I was doing something wrong. And I soon learned that was your slogan, and you never let us forget that. And it's just so obvious that you really value people and you keep them at the focus of all of the work that you do. And I really appreciate and admire that. So left quite the legacy here, and I do feel honored to kind of be living sort of in the middle of that right now. However, there is still a lot I have to learn from you. And that's really evident here. Everyone here still has a lot to learn, as we've been saying for over an hour. I mean, you constantly are teaching us so much. And what happened to Joel and Dave did to me too, where he told me I was taking his class, and he tried to get me to join midway through the semester, even though I wasn't even qualified for Gispia classes yet. I was allowed to start taking them, and he knew he could do it if he wanted to. So yeah, I guess there's so I'll miss that class, but there's so many other life things that I can continue to teach us, including skiing. So please, and thank you in advance for sticking around. Hopefully that's with Will. So yeah. Bring Will around, and congrats again, Dave, and thank you.
Thanks, Tess.
Oh, Tess.
Mind if we jump the line?
I knew she'd say it better than me.
Here's another friend of Dave's right here.
Hey, Marianne.
Wanted to say congrats on your retirement and all your years of hard work at Gispia. We look forward to spending some quality time with you guys now. So best of luck. We love you. Take care.
Love you too, Marianne.
Love you, Ree.
Oh.
Hey, Lydia.
Yeah.
I have a quick thing for Dave. Dave, I tried to get God to make an appearance. It didn't work, but I got the next best thing. Thinking of New England here. See if I can get this on here.
There he is.
So Ted says, since you know he's been frozen upside down because of his son, John Henry.
Yep.
The good news is he's coming back next week, since the Red Sox are only 4-8. And I think it might turn the season around.
I'm looking forward to that.
This has been so nice. I don't want to cut anybody out. I'm not seeing anyone raising any more hands. Oh, I just saw in the chat, Kelly, our actual newest staffer, Connect's lead community engagement coordinator, who started only a month ago, but has followed your work for a long time and is so excited to be here.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to meet you, Dave, in person, or, you know, the situation has been so crazy. And I've turned my camera off about 4 times because I was crying, and I don't even know, like, any, the stories are wonderful, and it just makes me feel so special to be a part of it, and so happy to be with Connect now and to be doing this work with everybody here. So, it's nice to meet you on here. I'm looking forward to working with you, even though you're retiring. I know how that goes too. I know a lot of people who have retired and they're busier now than they've ever been. So one of them's my mom. She retired 10 years ago and she's never been busier. So congratulations though on your retirement, and I'm very happy to be here. And I'm very jealous that you got Will. I know Kristen and I followed the story. And I said to my husband, I said, I want that dog. Kristen has this dog. I want that dog. And then I saw that he went to your home. And I was just like, oh, they got him, that dog. And I was very jealous. So it's great to see that he's there and doing well, and that he's in such a special
Find you
home,
another
so.
one, Kelly. Don't worry. It's my special.
Kristen will find you a dog.
Well, we have one. It was just one of those things where it was just like, he looks like my dog, sort of. So I was like, oh, it just would
Doesn't
be great
matter.
to have
She'll find
another
you
one.
3 or 4.
That's a great story.
Just so everybody knows, when Mayor Kelly sent her application in, the entire Connect office was like, holy moly, this is going to be amazing. Mayor Kelly wants to be on our team. And Dave was so excited, Kelly. He was like, this is really going to be something. So we're so happy to have you. And
I'm happy to be here and being able to work with you all. So it's wonderful.
It's a big deal. I'm going to save my big speech for our annual legislative session and reception and let you all go. Mainly, Dave, because I'm about to go golf. And I have a 5 o'clock tea time and I got to go. But
Thanks, Lydia.
So let me just.
Priorities.
The doctor banned him from the golf course for 4 weeks.
So let me just.
He wanted to say something.
So let me
Please
just.
do.
I am humbled by everybody's thoughtful words, more than you can imagine. You always want to think that you're doing good and making a difference, and sometimes you don't know if you're successful at that. What you really done for me today is kind of affirmed that maybe I have made a difference, and I'm just overwhelmed. I'm so thankful for your comments. I'm hoping that I'm not going to be retiring, but continue to be very active. And thank you guys for everything.
We love you, Dave.
Everybody unmute. Everybody shout at Dave how much we love him and
Well done,
want to
Dave.
keep doing
Love you,
it.
Dave.
Congratulations, Dave. We
Thanks,
love
Dave.
you.
Love you.
Thank you, Dave.
You did.
Thank you.
Love you, Dave.
Okay. How do you? Bye, Ann.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ree. Bye, Dave.
Dave, I'll share with you something you said to me on graduation day. I'll see you at work on Monday.
Yes.
Kristen, we have to get together sometime. I miss you, Direct. I miss you a lot.
I want to get together. I miss everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Congratulations.
Thanks, John, so much for this.
Oh, it was great fun. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
You're a
Bye,
great
Kristen.
co-hostess.
Thank you. All right, I really do have to go to the golf course. I got to go.
Bye-bye, Bill.